So I think they're going to bring all the speakers, panelists, yeah, so that we can move on to Q&A session.
Boleh, insyaAllah.
Okay. Yang lain mana ya? Okay, Prof. Dayang. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's move on to the questions. Okay, now. The first question will be, this is directed to, I think, well, no one in specific actually. Oh, yeah, actually, it's Tuan OJ, all right? By looking at your wife, you know, who is so dear to you, I'm sure it affected you, the person is asking, I'm sure it affected you mentally and physically. Did you fall into any kind of illness after the episode? I know this is a very sensitive question, Tuan OJ, but I hope you can answer this.
Thank you for the question. Terima kasih banyak-banyak atas soalan tersebut. So alhamdulillah lah, macam saya cakap tadi tu ya, saya ni pengalaman hidup saya tu mungkin berbeza sikit dengan rakan-rakan yang lain. Jadi saya agak tough sikit lah dalam menghadapi situasi ini. Jadi alhamdulillah saya tak ada mentally ke ataupun physically punya masalah lah. Sebab darah tinggi memang sebelum dia sakit saya dah ada. Kejam manis sebelum dia sakit pun saya dah ada. Dan alhamdulillah saya can control illness yang saya ada. Okay. Itu pengalaman saya lah. Orang lain saya tak pasti.
Alright.
Saya manage to control all the mentally and physical lah.
Okay. I suppose latihan ketenteraan Tuan OJ membantu ya.
I'm not sure which one.
And your bimbingan and counseling, so you're mentally and physically prepared for the after effects. Yeah, perhaps. Is there anyone else who would like to answer this question as well? You know, when the person you've cared for has moved on, has passed on, did it affect you physically? Anyone else? Dr. Azmida, Prof. Dayang, would you like to answer this question?
My colleagues in the department always remind me, when's your next checkup?
Prof. Dayang, anything, Prof. Dayang?
I have a rare blood disorder, so I didn't have problem, alhamdulillah, because I think I don't remember myself having. Of course, I feel the tiredness and all that, which I think is not something that I couldn't manage, alhamdulillah.
Thank God.
Mungkin Dr. Idra, saya nak tambah sikit jawab soalan.
Boleh Dr.
Sebab saya dapati ahli panel yang lain sangat baguslah coping mechanismnya ke, tapi mungkin ada juga mereka yang mungkin kurang dapat boleh kawal dan apabila sudah kehilangan orang yang kita sayangi, isu bereavement tu sangat real. Jadi kita di sekeliling, mungkin kita sendiri pun kena identify lah kot pasal bereavement tu. Mungkin orang kata tak boleh nak lupakan, memang betul tak boleh nak lupakan. Kadang-kadang dia nampak-nampak ke kan, allow it. Ada masing-masing untuk cope kan, tapi kita kena support, make sure get professional help if it's prolonged.
I just want to add, Indrani,
yes.
Everybody must be allowed to grieve at their own time. So you cannot say tiga hari, why you must move on, okay? I don't like you posting this all the time, you know. So everybody grieve differently, so I grieve differently, and I cope differently as well. So and I always remember and the practice for pesakit juga kan, kita walaupun macam anak tu meninggal dan kita nak adakan perbincangan dengan ibu bapa dia dalam sebulan. Kalau bapa dia tak bersedia untuk sebulan tu, kita postpone sebab kita kena allow everybody to grieve at their own pace sebelum kita address benda tu. Arwah ayah saya meninggal tahun 2009. Tuan OJ, ayah saya was in the Army Intelligence. Lieutenant Colonel as well.
Wow.
So bila dia meninggal, ni 2009 ni dah berapa tahun ya. Ibu saya masih tak boleh pergi visit pusara dia. Kita pusara tu dekat dengan rumah. Ayah saya buat rumah di situ sebab dia kata I want my final journey to be the shortest. people angkat dia the shortest time. He is that prepared. Tapi sehingga kini saya pergilah. Tapi ibu saya dia memang tak boleh. I made a mistake about 3 months after he passed away. I brought my mom to the pusara. And she broke down. And then I realized that was 2009. So I realized it was wrong of me to do that.
Yes.
Similarly with Mas Nisa, I want to visit her as often as possible in the di ziarah kubur dia. Tapi mungkin orang lain dia tak mau. So you have to allow everybody to grieve at their own pace.
True. I totally relate, Prof. You know,
saya share sikit apa nama.
Boleh.
Saya ada ada naik darah juga lah, adalah satu kes. So, bila MRI tu nak buat kan, CT scan ke MRI, saya tak ingat lah mana satu lah. Dah banyak sangat mesin yang digunakan. Biasalah kan guna government service, kita kena buat appointment kan. Okey, buat appointment. So saya pun tunggu tarik appointment, tak ada siapa-siapa call. Saya pun relax lagi lah. Call lagi ya. Saya kata okey next. Lepas tu tak jadi juga. Jadi saya dah pergi sendiri ke pusat MI, tak beja lah. Apa hal ni sebenarnya? So dia kata rosak. Apa pasal tak bagi tahu rosak? So that saya boleh alternatif pergi ke private ke apa kan. Tapi because of dia tak mention apa yang sebenarnya berlaku, jadi saya jadi berangin lah gitu. Ya. Dan saya pergi cari pengarah yang in charge. Pengarah tau, it's not the officer yang dekat situ. Saya pengarah dia saya cari. Saya bagi kata dua lah kat dia kan. Express my feeling masa tu. And then alhamdulillah dia arrangekan dengan satu tempat yang lain. So within 1 week settle. Tapi sebenarnya plus jugalah pasal dah buat itu pun masih hospital tak boleh detect the real
that's really sad,
penyakit tu kan. So, because dia very rare kan. Tak tahulah apa sebabnya. Ya, okey tu dah saya hilang temper saya tu.
No, but it's good. Sometimes you have to question or not fight for your rights, but you know, question so that you get what you were supposed to get. If not, if everyone keeps quiet, you know, you're not going to get anything done, right? Okay, all right. Shall we move on to the second question? Yeah, this is also directed to you, Tuan OJ. I think being the only man, you know, you've got a lot of questions here. Apakah saranan Tuan OJ kepada para lelaki khususnya untuk menyiapkan diri untuk mengawal keadaan apabila cabaran dan ujian berlaku dalam keluarga, terutama untuk memberi sokongan kepada pesakit dan anak-anak?
Okey, saya tak nak saran lah, tapi tadi kita punya penceramah Dr. Diana pun dah macam bagi apa ni burden apa tadi tu kan Actually saya pun mengalami juga lah tu. Cuma kontrol macho kan. Okay. Jadi apa yang saya buat sebenarnya yang pertama sekali lah kepada lelaki di sana kan, di luar sana ataupun yang ada dekat sini. Tadi Tuan Aris pun kata ada 70% kesamaan dengan saya tadi. Ya. Apa yang saya buat yang pertama kena reda.
Okay.
Kena reda maknanya kita kena terima. Macam panelis apa yang awal session pertama tadi pun ada sebut ya, kita kena reda lah. Bahawa kita nak nangis ke, kita nak mengamuk ke, kita nak hentak kepala ke dinding ke apa ke, it happen already. Jadi kita kena reda. Itu yang pertama lah yang saya buat pada diri saya. Ini dah berlaku. So what's next? Adakah aku nak hanyut bersama? Tidak. Isteri memang dia down lah. Ya, dia memang down bila kesehatannya makin meruntun. Dan yang kedua yang saya nak share tadi apa nama Dr. Diana tadi pun ada sebut, tambahkan ilmu. So sebenarnya you have to improve yourself. Saya sendiri pergi oleh kerana dia sakit badan, saya pergi belajar mengurut. So siapa nak urut sekarang bolehlah. Saya pergi belajar buat terapi. Yes. Kan saya buat. Pasal apa? Nak buat sendiri je. So sekarang saya boleh mengurut dan juga beri terapi macam siapnya tu kan, tulang-tulang tu yang masuk tulang kerap boleh masuk dalam tu. InsyaAllah lah. Cuma saya tak ada klien lain selain isteri saya, maknanya kemahiran tu mungkin kurang. Tapi knowledge tu saya dah ada lah. Itu saya pergi improve kat situ. Dan kemudian saya inisiatif sendirilah tanya. Okey, ada pengalaman lain juga yang mengajar saya lah. Satu pasal mak saya pun macam cerita tadi lah, sakit tua bedridden apa semua. Jadi kita pun belajar macam mana nak kendalikan. So mas saya pun towards the end dia memang kena makan pakai straw tu. Ya? Bila dekat hospital dia masuk gitulah. Jadi saya pagi-pagi kena belajarlah menggunakan buat apa nama tu. Allahu Akbar. Yang sedap tu, yang macam es krim tu kita blend tu, apa dia panggil?
Smoothie.
Smoothie. And then berbagai variasi smoothie saya pandai buat sekarang ni. So sekarang ni saya yang buat dan saya yang minum. Tu mana tambahkan ilmu, improve yourself. Tapi general based kepada situation lah. Itu saya sarankan kepada rakan-rakan tadi. Yang pertama kita kena reda. Apa yang jadi ni mesti ada hikmah dia. Kan? Kita reda. Dari segi multiculture, Muslim kata ni dugaan Allah SWT. Dan ada hikmah di belakangnya. Kan? Dan kita tak tahu pun apa hikmah tu. Sebab kita kena yakin dan percaya pada Allah SWT. Musibah tu pun sebenarnya ada sebab. Saya tak payah panjang kat sini sebab kalau ceramah motivasi saya akan cerita lagi.
So as painful as the experience is, I think adalah learning experience. Banyak juga yang kita belajar.
Thank you.
Alright, thanks Tuan OJ. The third question, to take care of terminally ill patients is a hard thing. But how do you cope after your loved one has passed on, has died? This is a very, very sensitive question, I understand. So I shall leave it to anyone who wishes to answer this.
Bagi rakan-rakan lain dulu lah.
Boleh. Anyone? I don't want to pinpoint lah, takut. I know it's a very emotional question.
Yeah.
Saya rasa kita dah sentuh tadi kan, Prof Dayang pun dah cakap. Bereavement tu individual.
Yes.
And at your own time, at your own pace.
There is a very good video from Omar Sulaiman. Ustaz Omar Sulaiman. He mentioned you don't move on. You move forward. Okay. So you may want to remember your loved one by continuing what they like to do. So macam do their good work, the charity work.
Yes.
Okay, if you enjoyed gardening with them, you continue to do that. Macam arwah Mas Nisa, I'm hoping I can come up with a website and share all her wonderful PowerPoints, because she's a fantastic teacher. I can see when she passed away a lot of the trainees, anesthetists pun bila dia buat posting pediatric ICU, they wrote fantastic kata-kata yang baik tentang arwah menjadi cikgu. Jadi saya that's I would like to do that, and I think that's probably one of my coping mechanism.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think coping mechanism could also be, instead of us bereaving all the time, to pass on the legacy of the person who's passed on, like what Prof Dayang is saying.
That's right. That's right.
So sometimes if we just grieve, there's no end to grief. I understand. I lost my brother early in February. Until today, I cannot even read his WhatsApp messages or listen to his voice till today. And it's been like, February, 8 months. So it's not going to end like that. It's definitely not going to.
Yes.
But I try and do some work to honor his memory, whatever that he wanted of us, like all your loved ones, I'm sure they had dreams for us, kan? So kita try and
for the Muslim, kan, Indrani, the best thing that you can do for somebody who you can't, the role of the sahabat doesn't end when they pass away. You got ton of other things that you can do to ensure they are, because we believe in the afterlife. So kita faham apa kita boleh infak, kita boleh derma, kita boleh, jadi peranan sahabat tu tak berhenti, Indrani.
Betul.
So katakan coping tu, that's how I cope. So saya mesti make sure apa-apa yang saya boleh buat sekarang dihantar kepada arwah ni di alam barzah tu. Barzah tu maksudnya dinding, Indrani. Meaning they cannot come cross over, but they are living in that world which is very special. So you can still do things for them. That's what we believe and we do. So sharing the PowerPoint slide is actually ilmu. So we always believe if you share ilmu and you niat pada tuan punya ilmu tu, that pahala will go to them. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's very, teaching is a apa tu, salah satu apa tu kerja yang mulia kan. Cikgu tu kerja mulia, dia kongsi ilmu, dan setiap ilmu yang baik tu dia akan dapat ganjaran dia lah. And that's what I'm hoping to do for her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, Prof. Okay, Prof, thank you. We'll come to the final question, soalan keempat. I think, Prof, this is directed to you. Macam mana nak ikhlaskan hati nak jaga orang yang tak ada hubungan darah dengan kita?
Baik, actually our prophet says, if you want to develop love, you give gifts. Saya tak ingat in detail, dia kata saling memberi hadiah sesama kita untuk menimbulkan kasih sayang. That's what Rasulullah says. And that's what we practice. I and Dr. Mas and all my friends, they know. So we over the years we love to give among ourselves. And the gift not necessarily what you have to buy. Contohnya macam arwah ni, dia pandai masak. So dia akan masak yang paling sedap, dan dia akan kata, ini saya masak ni dengan penuh kasih sayang ni. Kita makan. And it's not just for me, dia akan buat yang sama kepada staff dia di pediatric ICU. They're very lucky. Last time she woke up at 5 AM, dia dah buat all the prayers semua, dia akan masak pasta lah, apa benda lah, makanan Itali ni untuk dibawa ke, and she did it out of love. And I think when you give somebody and you sentiasa bertukar hadiah, akan timbul rasa tu. Ikhlas ni we cannot say, because ikhlas is something between you and God. Okay. Right. There's no amount. I can sometimes kita kata ini semua dengan ikhlas. Yeah. You may want to write it down, but actually it's between you and God. Only Allah know whether you are really ikhlas about it. And I think hubungan darah ni at the end of the time, maybe blood tu bukan, kita tak sama ibu bapa kan. Friends are the family you choose.
Yes.
Okay? So and hopefully whatever we, not just me and everybody that contributed to the care of arwah Mahasiswa will be acknowledge. Allah Ta'ala saja yang boleh balas segala bantuan lah. Jadi saya harap saya jawab, sebab I think ikhlas is very is between you and God.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Prof. Okay, Prof. Thank you, everyone. But before I pass it on to the MC, I think we still have a bit of time. So perhaps are there any other input? Is there any other input that any one of you would like to share, the panelists?
Ada soalan tu, Idra ni? Ada soalan 5.
Oh, ada ya. But just now I was going to give soalan 5 soalan. Okay. Bagaimana kita nak kendalikan situasi sekiranya keluarga pesakit tak suka kita yang menjaga mereka sendiri, yang nak menjaga? I don't understand the question myself.
No, it's basically saying how do you handle situation where the family members doesn't like the person who look after.
I see.
And they want to look after.
Okay. That means it's some non-family members taking care of you.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose this is probably directed at you.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, but as I said, arwah ni dia dah cakap siapa orang yang kita perlu directly communicate with. Okay. So unfortunately, maybe the pool of family that, and I can tell you, the actual family member yang dia suruh kita entrust dan communicate tu tak ada menjadi masalah. Rasanya yang lain tu yang buat foul.
New York syndrome tu kan, Prof?
Ya, betul lah. Jadi of course it's a pain, tapi the best thing if it happens to the caregiver, macam apa berlaku tu, kita mungkin marah sekejap, tapi kita tenangkan diri. Whatever it is we have to do what the patient wants. And we may want to communicate with the family member yang telah dipilih oleh macam arwah ni, dia dah terang-terang cakap ni dua abang dia dan adik dia. Dia sangat sayang adik dia. So dia kata apa-apa dua abang ni dulu, kemudian adik dia. Bukan kerana dia tak fikir family member yang lain, tapi family tu besar kan. Family tu besar. Jadi tanggungjawab kita yang menjaga ni, as I said, we cannot go overboard and decide beyond what is required by the patient. And in saya punya case, arwah Masih Said is extremely clever lady, you know. People know she's very decisive. She's not but having said that, dia tak mau semasa dia sakit, dia tak mau tengok scan dia tak mau tengok result dia tak mau every planning I have to tell. I don't want to know. Okay, you tell me then. Jadi masa dia belum sampai terminal, I don't need to update the family member. She will do it. Okay? But when she realized that she is her sickness is getting more challenging, she let me know yang ini yang kalau jadi memang this ability to predict and anticipate macam Dr. Azinda cakap tadi kan, advance apa tu directive dia it is very difficult kita nak honor sometimes, but kita rasa in the end tapi always communicate and pray hard. Kita memang saya setuju dengan Tuan Oji, memang kita our prayer tu memang kena lipat gandakan to make sure Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala mudahkan pemilihan dan it shorten the time when they no longer able to think. So saya jawablah soalan tu.
Saya tambah sikit.
Boleh.
Pasal orang dia pesakit tak nak orang lain jaga, bukan pesakit lain tak nak orang jaga ni, pesakit yang tak nak orang lain jaga. In my case, untuk bantu keselesaan hidup arwah, saya ambil pembantu hidup bersama dengan kami lah, untuk menguruskan apa perkaranya. Tapi bila admit kat hospital, arwah tak nak pembantu tu yang jaga dia.
Okay.
So saya pagi pergi kerja, malam saya tidur kat hospital. During that time lah, masa first yang the bulan Syakban tu tu Syakban tu. Saya suka ingat yang bulan Syakban dengan ni pasal arwah meninggal masa raya.
Betul.
Kemudian weekend katakan anak-anak pula jaga. Dia nak macam gitu. So we will follow lah. Cara mudahnya saya kata kita bahagiakanlah pasangan kita.
Okay. Tuan Oji, ada tak Tuan Oji tanya your wife kenapa she's not comfortable with that particular person? Or do you just accept?
Saya accept saya tak tanya kenapa.
Yes, okay.
Jadi yalah kalau malam saya ada kat rumah agaknya pembantu rumah ada kat rumah ke. Saya tak tahulah perasaan dia macam mana kan. I mean perasaan arwah kan. Saya tak tahu. Tapi saya just follow je.
Alright. Okay.
Dekat dia tu. Itu yang saya maksudkan bagikan. Sebelum dia sakit teruk tu pun saya bawa dia jalan-jalan lah, makan angin apa semua, bawa pergi umrah apa semua. Atau masuk bahagiakan dia.
Terima kasih Tuan Oji. Okay, thanks Tuan Oji. Okay, soalan yang ke-6 dan terakhir.
Ada lagi.
Kalau kita ada keluarga and then nak jaga kawan yang sakit, tak ada family, macam mana nak elakkan konflik antara jaga family dan kawan, especially kalau macam saya ada anak, suami sendiri. I think this is a very good question also, kan? Yeah, this happens to most of us. Yeah, anyone can answer this?
I think everything is with consent, Indrani. Yeah, and the level of involvement. We certainly don't want to tinggalkan family sendiri kan. And of course, if you look at it, I don't have housemate anymore. And my mother always worry. She favors Mas Isa very much. Actually, when now she worries, you tak ada kali sakit. Macam mana kan dia pun dah tua, mak saya pun ada kanser juga and during that difficult time she was also diagnosed and we had to take treatment kan. Jadi I think if I'm ill and a friend wants to look after me with a friend who has family members, ada husband, I would want them to get consent from the husband and the kids and I wouldn't want them to be with me all the time. I know that is not right. So I think it's two ways. Masa kita sihat tu kita dah decide. Kita jangan tinggal masa kita dah jadi orang terpaksa kan. It's commendable to help. It's always commendable to help. But we should help to the point that it will not create more problems.
Yeah. I think the willingness. I think the willingness to help maybe in me, for example. I mean, but the question is whether my husband and my children will be supportive of my decision.
That's right.
So, I think at the end of the day, do you think that priority should be given to the family? Is that what you think?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and if they still want, you don't have to be there all the time. You could help in other things. I was telling, a lot of people ask me how. I said, you can sponsor the kowe, kan? You can sponsor the payment of the kowe ketika you nak air bersih. That's what you can do, kan? Or you can sponsor the meal that they are going to have during the chemotherapy day, kan? You can, so you do something that is not going to menjadikan orang yang sakit tu rasa dia beban. Because you must make it fluid and nice. That's the idea, kan? So it's not about you, it's about the person who's sick. So but if the person who is sick feels that I want to have you, I would think if I'm sick, I would speak to the husband. Is this okay? Is this okay with you? If they are not okay, then don't. If the kids are not okay, don't.
All right. Okay, I think that wraps up our question, and we still probably have about 5 minutes. Is there anything, siapa nak, give your final thoughts before we end the session? Dr. Aznida, Dr. Diana, anything, Doctor?
Saya just nak end dengan if I may, the importance of advanced care planning dengan advanced directive study lah. When we did a small research in UKM, when I did my attachment there, on oncology patients, nearly, I think it's 99% tak ada will, apatah lagi advanced directives. So I think it's for ourselves juga sebenarnya, put set things supaya tidak orang lain jugalah. So that's one perspective to look at it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Dr. Aznida, anything, Doctor, you wish to say before we pass on to the MC?
Good self-reminder, and for all caregivers also lah. You need to take care of yourself before you take care of others.
Okay, all right.
So yang tu kita selalu terlupa lah.
Yeah, I think the caregiver burden thing that Dr. Diana talked about is very relevant. A lot of people don't realize it, but I think it's really important. Okay, thanks, Dr. Aznida. Tuan Oji, anything?
Okay lah, sikit. Kita ni makhluk biasa. Suka tak suka, satu masa nanti pun kita akan pergi.
Betul.
Okay. Malahan ada orang yang lebih muda daripada kita dah pergi dulu. Okay. Jadi apa pun ujian yang kita terima, cabaran yang kita terima, kita kena hadapi dengan fikiran dan hati yang terbuka. InsyaAllah. Kita kena teruskan kehidupan. Okay, terima kasih.
Okay, thanks Tuan Oji. Prof. Daya? Prof. Daya?
I just want to say that sometimes we don't get to choose what we like or don't like. Okay, but when you accept the responsibility, you must go all out to do your best. And you put yourself whatever you like a bit behind, and it's worth it, because for all the effort and all that, when they are not around with us anymore, you will say, oh, I've done this much, and you feel satisfied in your heart. Okay, and whatever you and for everybody that has friends, I say you don't need many friends. You just need a few that understands you. And it's don't you must tell what you like and you don't like, because I mean, if it happens to you that you have to, this is your terminal days, I hope there will be friends who knows what I like and don't like, and so I keep a few friends close to me, because there are things that you cannot tell your family members, kan?
Okay. All right, thank you very much, everyone. It's been really interesting learning experience for me as well. So I would like to thank the organizers for making me the moderator of this session. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. So and hope to meet all of you again at some point of time. So I'd like to pass it on to the MC, Puan Amelia, to continue the session.